Hello, and welcome to Teeth, Dentitions, and Diets of Mammals with Juliana Lopez, Tiana Sestapina, and Alejandra Torres. So, the main question is, how did teeth evolve? And there's a bit of a debate within the scientific community when it comes to deciphering where teeth have evolved from. Some researchers believe the outside in theory that suggests teeth evolved from scales from ancestral fishes were covered, which were covered in enamel, that folded and integrated into the mouth over time. Although the main issue with that theory is that there's a huge lack of supporting evidence. On the other hand, researchers believe that the inside out theory, which suggests teeth evolved from the cells of pharyngeal teeth, which actually did have a bit of supporting evidence for a while but is now up in the air. But researchers have all agreed, though, that the evolution of teeth began at the emergence of pharyngeal teeth, which you can see at point A, which is right between the lampreys and the thelodonts. So, pharyngeal teeth, for those who aren't aware, are teeth located within the throats of fish who lack teeth. As you can see, look at the lamprey. Very scary looking with all the teeth in the throat. So continuing, the emergence of oral teeth slash oral jaws, which is that you can see at point B, has been hypothesized to be occurring between the thelodonts and the placoderms. The reason the emergence is hypothesized between these two creatures is due to the intricate difficulties of placing the exact emergence, since scientists are still unsure. Furthermore, the loss of pharyngeal teeth at point C occurs between teleosts and tetrapods. The loss of teeth are due to the common ancestors and the lack of needing teeth within the throat from grinding, as the teeth within our own oral cavities are able to complete the task.
Hi everyone. I will be talking about the different dentitions and types of teeth. So to start off with the dentitions, we have heterodont and homodont. For heterodont, that just means that it possesses more than a single tooth morphology, which we see in our mammals. And homodont means the animal only has one type of teeth all throughout its mouth, which is majority found in our reptiles, amphibians, and fish. Now to talk about the type of teeth, we have incisors, which are in the front of the mouth, and they're used for cutting, biting, and nibbling on food. We have the canines, which are located on either side of the incisors and which are long and pointy in some of our mammals. Their primary function is to grab, pierce, and tear flesh. We have the premolars, which lie posterior to the canines, and they're used to grind, crush, and slice food. And then, of course, our molars, which are in the very back of our jaw, they're also used to grind and crush food, but they also use the force of the jaw to do some of its work as well.
Alrighty, and then continuing from that, I specifically am going to be covering herbivores. And herbivores are just specifically animals who only tend to eat vegetation. So, continuing from that, if everyone can please welcome Mr. Craig the Capybara to the clinic, it would be greatly appreciated. He's obviously not too happy to be here, but I don't blame him because dentists also terrify me. Anyways, like Craig, capybaras can live up to 12 years, reach a height around 3 feet, and can weigh up to 150 pounds. They can usually be found in dense vegetations around rivers, lakes, ponds, marshes, and swamps. Their diets primarily consist of the vegetation that lines water sources and other aquatic plants that they can get their hands on. Speaking of their diets, though, and since we're at the dentist, let's focus on their teeth. As you can see, these two giant teeth up front are their incisors. Incisors. These incisors help cut vegetation, and since capybaras are rodents, their incisors actually never stop growing. That can be an issue when keeping capybaras as a pet, as the continuous growth can be a hazard and cause dental issues. Just think about having extremely long nails that continue to grow without the ability to cut them. Next, after the scap area between the teeth, there are a pair of premolars and 3 pairs of molars that can be seen within the back of the mouth. These actually help capybaras grind and crush the vegetation, making their food easier to digest. And then if you can see on the next slide, there is a good old little video of Mr. Craig eating some good food. He's just munching away.
All right, everyone, and I'm back, and we're going to be talking about carnivores now. So of course, carnivores, as we know, only eat meat. And just to give you an idea of what kind of animal I will be talking about today, I do have a video as well to give you some sort of clue. And I promise before this video is shown that no animals were harmed in the making of this video. Alrighty, everyone. Well, if you didn't guess it, today's patient is Bobby the Bobcat. Just to give you some background information, bobcats are found around the United States in southern Canada and Mexico, and their diets consist of rabbits, mice, and occasionally some small deers. An interesting fact is that they're very important to our food web as they're known to be ecosystem engineers by maintaining diversity and even managing diseases. Now to talk about teeth. Bobcats are heterodonts, which previously mentioned means that they just have a variety of teeth, which include incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. However, in today's presentation, I will be focusing on their sharp and long canine teeth. They are known to be true carnivores, so their canine teeth are their greatest weapon. In bobcats, they use their canine teeth to catch prey by their necks, then grab and grip onto them, and then pierce through their prey's flesh. And then while they're doing that, they can also tear their flesh into small bite-sized pieces and actually swallow them whole. And another fun fact is that bobcats, their bite force is around 548 newtons. So to make a little bit more sense of that, it's around 123 pounds of force, which is quite a lot for a cat this size. Anyways, so how do you think canine teeth have evolved to be as pointy as long as they are in a bobcat? These teeth have evolved in order to suit a predator's lifestyle, as their tooth shape varies depending on how they choose to catch their prey. For example, larger cats like lions have the sharpest canines in the animal kingdom, which allow them to stab deep into the throats of their prey. Animals like a bobcat have more slender and sharper teeth, which were adapted to catch their prey. And as they press even further, their teeth are able to penetrate. So this is really important information based on their diet and how their teeth are formed.
Hello, class. My name is Juliana, and I will be talking about omnivores today. Now, what are omnivores, you may ask? Well, omnivores are animals who primarily eat vegetation and meat. They include a diverse group of animals, including bears, dogs, birds, raccoons, pigs, and even humans. Now, meet our patient, Peppa Pig. Peppa is a Welsh pig, which is a domestic breed of pig native to Wales, England. This breed is well known for its harmless, inexpensive, or outdoor pig farming system. Peppa's primary diet consists of vegetables, table scraps, meat, bread, fruit, pig pellets, and much more. Omnivores come from a diverse background that often independently evolved into sophisticated consumption capabilities. For instance, dogs evolved primarily from the carnivorous organisms, while pigs like Peppa primarily evolved from herbivorous organisms. As Tiana previously discussed, Danny the deer is a herbivorous organism whose diet consists of only vegetation. Now, looking at the cladogram provided, it confirms that pigs evolved from primarily herbivorous organisms due to the deer, which is here, sharing a common ancestor, which our pig is right here. So you can see that they all merge from a common ancestor. Now, Peppa has come to the dentist today to determine if she has any cavities. Now, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, omnivores such as Peppa, who eat both plants and meat, have broad, flat molars, which are seen here. And here are the premolars here. Now, the molars are used to grind up varieties of food, in which here we can see our front teeth, which are going to be our incisors, and our canines, which are here. Now, the front teeth are wide and narrow at the tips and somewhat chisel-shaped like our canines and our incisors, making them very useful for biting off chunks of meat or plant materials. Now, the canine teeth of Peppa, again, which are right here, here are our canines, are used to tear apart meat for consumption. As depicted in the photo, they have a very long, round, pointed tip up right at the top. Now, Peppa contains incisors, which are located at the front of the jaw, which are right here. Now, the incisors are primarily used to break down vegetation. Now, plants contain cellulose, which is a tough, fibrous, and water-insoluble polysaccharide that plays an integral part in keeping the structure of the plant cell wall stable. Now, cellulose is very hard to break down, which is why the organism must contain these strong incisors to be able to break apart the vegetation from their diet. Now, after viewing Peppa's teeth, I have confirmed that Peppa has no cavities. She is very good at brushing her teeth, and you can see that here. She is an excellent patient. Now we're going to play a quick game. Now this game is pretty fun. The object of the game is to guess which category fits the questions based on what you've learned today. Now each question may contain one or more correct answers. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first question is, it is an animal in this class which eats leaves, twigs, fruits, and nuts, grass, corn, and alfalfa. So our three classes to choose from are herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Now, if you believe it's a herbivore, you can go ahead and raise your hand. All right, let's see what it is. It is indeed a herbivore, which Miss Tiana went ahead and explained earlier. It is not a carnivore because we are eating vegetation here. However, it can be an omnivore since the omnivores do have vegetation also in their diet. Now, our next question is, it is an organism that evolved from herbivores. So now let's think about which class, either herbivore, carnivore, or omnivores had evolved from herbivores. Of course, that's not going to be our herbivores. It will not be our carnivores. And it will indeed be our omnivores. Now, as I recently explained, our pigs have evolved, it is seen to have evolved from herbivores, much like our deer, which is a herbivore as well. Now, our next question is, it is a class that primarily uses its canine teeth. Now, is it going to be a herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore? Now, it is not our herbivore. It is our carnivore. And although omnivores do have their canine teeth, they do not primarily use just their canine teeth. However, they use the canine teeth to do the same exact function as it would in a carnivore. But again, they have their molars and their incisors that also play an integral role. So much like Alejandra explained, the carnivores use their canine teeth primarily to shred up their meat for consumption. Now that is all. Here are our references. And does anybody have any questions?